Okay, picture this. 1 star, would not recommend. Conversation lagged like bad Wi-Fi. Paid for dessert, owed me closure. Yep, that was my headline. And before you ask, no, that wasn't a restaurant review. That was date number everything, served cold with a side of sugar-free excuses.
I'm Liv, your chronically online host, and every day we talk about life, relationships, internet chaos, bad decisions, awkward moments, and all the things that spiral way faster than they should. Today, I'll tell you how a dumb coping trick turned into a full-on social media grenade, and yes, you'll get the receipts. Here's the deal. After enough painfully forgettable first dates, I started doing something ridiculous. Not a diary entry, not a passive-aggressive group text, a Yelp-style review. Stars, pros and cons, a one-liner. It began as a survival strategy. If I could rate it, I could close it. It was therapy disguised as snark.
And I know what you're mentally filing under unhinged, but there is an art to this. My entries were a catalog of tiny betrayals. Arrived late, talked about their ex, wore socks with sandals, each note anchored to the exact awful line. It made remembering easier and laughing about it later possible. Also, my memory is terrible, and judgment is an Olympic sport I train for weekly.
Let me read you 3 entries, because yes, I am guilty of peak petty artistry. Sample 1. Star 1 star. Pros, free appetizer. Cons, philosophy lecture about cryptocurrency at the table. Would not let me finish my fries. Host asked if we were okay. We were not. This one I actually titled, Brave but Boring.
Sample 2. 2 stars. Pros, smelled like lavender. Cons, told me his Hogwarts house, referred to me as my female counterpart, twice. Dessert was overshadowed by identity theft of personality. That one got a lot of internal clapping. And then there was sample 3, which I regret only slightly. 1 star. Pros, paid for parking. Cons, made me choose between pesto or heart emoji, unliquored text. Emotional investment, 0. I kept the names out, obviously. Date number 27. Date in blue jeans. The guy who loved his bike more than conversation. All anonymous. It felt private. A little cruel, maybe, but mostly it was my scrapbook of what not to expect. My spreadsheet became a ritual. 1 star, write the one-liner, add a pro, if any, and log the trauma. If coping were currency, I was rich. Then came the night that turned private snark into communal spectacle. I posted nothing. I said nothing to mutuals. I even told myself, this is therapy, not content. But the universe has a sense of humor. A week later, my phone blew up with screenshots. Somebody had taken one of my entries and, hold on to your earbuds, posted it in a group chat where strangers and mutual friends congregate like pigeons at free bread. I remember the exact screenshot. My 2-star review, the one-liner about pesto or heart emoji, then a bubble popped up. Here's my contribution. And this person, who I'll call the reviewer, typed their own mini review of me. Not a screenshot, a real-time, stylistically matched clapback. It went kind of like, Liv, 2 stars. Pros, witty. Cons, talkative about bad dates. Would recommend at brunch, but not for existential chat. It was like being critiqued by my own art. The chat exploded. Mutual friends chose teams like it was fantasy football. Some people were, this is hilarious. And others were, yikes, boundaries. Side messages, are you all right? DMs, was this about me? And my personal favorite, the person who replied with a perfectly typed passive-aggressive roast. 5 stars for boldness, 1 star for delivery. I can't make this up. The fallout was a masterclass in small-town digital drama. A friend group split, people performed righteousness, and one mutual friend turned into a mediator with 3 coffee emojis. Like that was the treaty. I owned it, obviously. I leaned into the humor because avoiding responsibility is exhausting and laughing is easy. But there was a clear lesson. Private snark can become public pain very, very fast.
So here's my chaotic hot take. Rating humans can be amazing therapy if it stays private, like a pressure valve. But once you let it leak into public lanes, you're basically inviting a roast you didn't rehearse for. Boundaries matter. If you must vent, anonymize better. Keep receipts to yourself. Or pick someone whose job is to hear about it without reenacting the trial. Vents are for healing. Public shaming is a different animal.
Also, don't be a hypocrite. If you're going to roast someone online, be prepared for roast back. The digital receipts are real. A funny coping mechanism can turn into an ugly debate about ethics and empathy. I said it then, and I'll say it now. Humor helps, but compassion keeps you out of group chats where people vote like it's American Idol.
Verdict? 2 stars. Would not recommend as a public pastime. 5 stars as a private coping strategy. And if you're listening and thinking, wow, Liv, this sounds like me, that's the point. We all do dumb things to make the hurt smaller. Just try to keep the receipts in a folder labeled therapy, not feed me clamped. If today's mess made you laugh or feel slightly better about your own life choices, then my job here is officially done. If you enjoyed the chaos, do your girl a favor and leave a review. Seriously, give the show stars. 5 or 2, I'll take the attention. And if you have a ridiculous dating review of your own, slide into the socials with your sanitized, anonymous, 0 identifying entries. Remember, be messy, but be kind.
All right, I'm off to update my spreadsheet. Stay chaotic, my friends. This escalated quickly, and I'll see you next time with another glorious admission.